The universe is stirring with an energy unlike anything we've ever felt before. Something enormous is approaching, a cosmic jolt so powerful that it will ripple through every layer of time and space. It's not just another event in the skies or another spiritual moment on the calendar. It's the spark that could ignite the most profound transformation in human consciousness that this planet has ever seen. And it's closer than we think. The Pleiadians, those ancient cosmic beings who have guided humanity quietly from the sidelines for millennia, have broken their silence with a message that carries both urgency and weight. Their words are not meant to inspire fear, but to awaken the deepest part of you that remembers. They're revealing a truth that will shake the foundations of what we've believed about this moment in history. Something extraordinary is on the horizon, and they want us to be ready. Imagine standing in a room where the lights flicker for just a second. The atmosphere shifts. The air feels charged. And in that moment, every cell in your body is aware. Something is about to change. That's the sensation sweeping across the planet as this cosmic wave begins to move closer. You may not have language for it, but you can feel it. It's the start of something far greater than a celestial alignment. It's the first breath of a new world, a massive reset that will redefine what it means to be alive. This shift isn't abstract anymore. It's not just a spiritual idea or a conversation reserved for mystics. It's becoming tangible, real, and physical. The Earth is responding. So are the people. All around the globe, something is awakening within. People are remembering who they really are. They're feeling called to break free from systems that no longer align with truth. They're beginning to sense a different kind of reality, one where consciousness expands and the soul takes the lead. The Pleiadians have been gently preparing us for this for years, through signs, symbols, dreams, and chance encounters that weren't really by chance at all. But now, their message has changed. There's an urgency in their tone. They're letting us know that the veil between dimensions is lifting, and fast. What once was a theoretical transition from the third dimension to the fifth is now becoming our lived reality. It's not a future hope. It's happening now. Everywhere you look, the signs are revealing themselves. Time feels stranger. Synchronicities are increasing. People are waking up to truths they once ignored. But make no mistake, this isn't just a gentle awakening. This is a call to action. The Pleiadians aren't just watching from a distance. They are actively helping us cross this threshold. They are involved in this transformation, encouraging us to rise, to remember, and to reclaim our purpose. What's coming is not about waiting for some outside force to save us or for the world to change on its own. This is an invitation to awaken from within, to step into the unique role each of us came here to play. It's a reminder that our purpose isn't just a personal journey, it's part of a collective activation that affects all of humanity. Yet, not everyone will be ready. Some will cling to the old paradigms, struggling to comprehend what's unfolding. That's the paradox of transformation. Not everyone will walk through the doorway, but those who do will never see the world the same way again. The Pleiadians are offering this final message as a warning, yes, but also as a promise. The event that will spark this awakening is on its way. It will open a door to a new earth for those willing to walk through it. And for those who aren't, the door may close, not out of punishment, but because they chose not to see it. This ignition point, this cosmic catalyst, is not hidden in mystery. It's already making its presence known through the heavens. Celestial bodies are shifting in ways our instruments struggle to explain. Signals from the stars, encoded with meaning and energy, are reaching us faster than expected. The Pleiadians are saying clearly, it's not a question of if the shift will happen. It's happening. The only question now is how ready we are to embrace it. Even now, a new wave of energy is approaching Earth. Scientists have noticed subtle changes. Cosmic radiation increasing, plasma waves intensifying, magnetic fields acting in unpredictable ways. But what science is just beginning to grasp, our souls already understand. This energy carries more than particles. It carries information. It's encoded with remembrance, designed to activate something ancient within us. As this energy arrives, something stirs inside. Some feel tingling in their skin, a strange hum in the back of their minds. Others have vivid dreams, flashbacks to lives they never consciously lived. It's as if a dormant part of the human DNA is being turned on again, whispering truths long forgotten. And it's not just within us that the change is happening. Nature itself is reacting. Animals are shifting their behavior in ways we've never seen. Birds are altering their flight paths. Sea creatures are showing up in unexpected places. Plants are blooming off-season, as though responding to a new rhythm. The earth is alive and aware, preparing herself to hold the new frequency. She is aligning with the signal that's coming, adjusting her vibration for the next chapter in the story of life. Suddenly, something appears in the sky, a celestial anomaly that captures global attention. Scientists scramble to explain it. Some call it a rogue asteroid. Others suggest it's a newly discovered dwarf planet. But none of the models can predict its path. It doesn't follow the rules. That's because it's not just an object. According to the Pleiadians, it's a messenger, a harbinger. It's part of a divine design, perfectly timed to awaken humanity at the precise moment we're ready. Its presence in the sky is like the bell that rings before a shift in consciousness. You might not understand it with your logical mind, but your soul knows. This visitor isn't here randomly. It's part of the plan, part of the symphony of awakening that's playing out across the universe. As it passes, the energy on Earth intensifies. Cosmic frequencies rain down, and with them come bursts of clarity, waves of memory, and moments of sudden realization. People everywhere begin to wake up in new ways. Some receive visions, others hear messages in their hearts. Many feel pulled toward truth like never before. The old illusions lose their grip, and a new light begins to shine through. This light doesn't just touch the mind. It touches the body, the spirit, the very blueprint of our DNA. It activates dormant codes that were waiting for this exact moment. Strands once thought useless now awaken. This is what scientists once called junk DNA. But it was never junk. It was simply waiting. Waiting for this frequency. Waiting for this light. As more awaken, a ripple moves through the collective consciousness. People who have never met across continents and cultures begin to share similar dreams, speak of similar experiences, and feel the same strange inner shift. Reality itself seems to be bending. Time stretches and compresses. Colors seem more vivid. Sound feels deeper. The very fabric of our perception is evolving. And while this awakening continues, not everyone welcomes it. There are forces, both seen and unseen, that have worked tirelessly to keep this moment from happening. Those who've controlled the narrative for centuries have anticipated this shift and are doing all they can to suppress it. Interference floods the planet in the form of low-frequency noise, disruptions that feel like confusion, fatigue, anxiety, or despair. These aren't just random. They are targeted. Subtle attempts to keep the masses disconnected from the higher frequencies now arriving. Even the technology around us plays a role, bombarding our nervous systems with distractions and energetic dissonance. Many don't question why they feel foggy, overwhelmed, or disconnected from joy. But it's part of the resistance to this awakening. As more people rise, so too does the interference. It's a silent struggle, a battle not of weapons but of vibration. One side seeks to open the door to higher consciousness, the other wants to keep it closed. And while that war plays out, the world around us becomes louder and more chaotic. News cycles spin faster, crises multiply, political chaos erupts, financial systems wobble, all of it designed to pull attention outward, to drown the inner voice calling us to rise. But for those who feel the pulse of something deeper, this is not the end. It's the beginning. Amidst the noise, there is a signal. Amidst the chaos, there is order emerging. The awakening can't be stopped. It may be delayed, it may be challenged, but it will happen. Because it's not just coming from the outside, it's coming from within. And when enough people remember, the world will never be the same again. The Pleiadian warning isn't just a caution, it's a map. A signal flare guiding us toward what's next. This is the turning point. This is the doorway. And as you read these words, that doorway is opening. The question is, will you step through? Something has been carefully constructed to keep human attention locked in confusion rather than allowing it to rest in clarity. The world is saturated with dramatic, sensational events, creating endless noise that distracts even those who've begun to awaken. It's not accidental. It's a strategy, an illusion crafted to prevent the collective from seeing the deeper truths unfolding behind the scenes. As the Earth adjusts itself and cosmic energies rise, many remain caught in the web of artificial drama, missing the greater transformation taking place just beneath the surface. Fear plays a central role in this manipulation. As humanity stands at the edge of a major consciousness shift, fear-based stories are being pushed out into the collective mind, like waves crashing on a shore. There's talk of looming disasters, viral outbreaks, economic collapse, narratives that grip the psyche and feed uncertainty. But this fear isn't just emotional. It's energetic. It carries a frequency that clashes with awakening. When people are wrapped in fear, they sink into lower vibrations. Their clarity becomes foggy. Their inner compass gets thrown off course. That's the goal: to disconnect people from their inner knowing, to make truth harder to feel. While this fear-driven atmosphere grows, another force is rising, one that's wrapped in the promise of convenience and innovation. The rapid advance of technology, including AI, biometric tracking, and neural interfaces, is being welcomed as a sign of progress. But not all progress leads to freedom. Beneath the sleek design and seductive ease lies an agenda that seeks to interfere with human energy, to weave technology so deeply into human life that consciousness itself becomes subject to control. As more people bond with machines, they drift further from themselves. It's like an invisible web being cast over the earth, a digital mesh that doesn't just connect, but ensnares. Without awareness, many may find they've given away their sovereignty in exchange for something that only appears to serve them. In a final effort to preserve the old structures of control, ancient knowledge is quietly being altered or erased. The truths held by past civilizations, their wisdom about human origins, cycles of awakening, and the cosmic influences guiding this era, are being removed from public access. Libraries are being digitized, but important passages seem to disappear in the process. Sacred locations are rebranded as mere tourist stops, their spiritual essence reduced to historical trivia. There's an intention behind this: to block humanity from realizing that it's been here before, that these evolutionary leaps have occurred in cycles, and that the power to awaken lies dormant within. But truth has a way of rising, even when it's buried. And for those ready to see, the signs are still there. This rising energy is especially palpable within a group of souls known as starseeds. These are beings who came from higher dimensions, not by accident, but with purpose, to assist Earth during this monumental transition. For many of them, something within is now stirring. An inner call that cannot be ignored is starting to break through. It's not a voice they can hear with their ears, but a feeling, an unshakable sense that they're meant for more, that they're here for a reason far beyond the ordinary. Even if they don't have the full picture yet, they feel the pull to step into something greater. This activation shows up in many ways. Some starseeds begin to have vivid dreams, powerful synchronicities, or intense spiritual downloads. Their bodies respond too. Buzzing sensations up the spine, pressure in the forehead, waves of heat or chills that seem to come from nowhere. They might feel tired yet energized, sensitive yet strong. These symptoms aren't signs of illness. They're evidence of transformation. The very blueprint of their being, their DNA, is waking up, responding to the cosmic influx of light now pouring into Earth. Old aches or discomforts may flare up and vanish, as if they were never really physical but energetic residue now being cleared. In this altered state, time begins to lose its usual meaning. Moments stretch and collapse. The past, present, and future feel less like separate chapters and more like a single fluid experience. Déjà vu becomes common. Some begin to recall memories from lives they've never lived in this body. Time speeds up, slows down, and sometimes seems to stop altogether. This isn't just a mental trick. It's what happens when consciousness begins to lift out of the rigid structure of three-dimensional thinking. The illusion of linear time starts to dissolve, revealing a deeper truth, that all moments exist at once, and the soul exists far beyond the limits of the physical. With this expanded awareness comes something even more extraordinary: telepathy. Starseeds start receiving knowledge in sudden bursts, as if wisdom is being transmitted straight into their awareness. Ideas they've never studied suddenly make perfect sense. Thoughts appear from nowhere, or they feel communication from beings they can't see but somehow know. These messages might arrive during dreams, deep meditation, or quiet moments of reflection. They're not imagined. They're guidance from soul family, higher dimensional mentors, and interdimensional allies who have always been watching and waiting for the right moment to help. And now, with the veils thinning, that help is finally reaching through. Alongside these interchanges, starseeds also start to feel a growing discomfort with modern society. The noise, the speed, the digital overload, it all starts to feel overwhelming and empty. What once felt normal now feels hollow. They seek nature, silence, and meaningful connection. Many feel drawn to move away from cities or to create new, simpler ways of living. Others just begin to distance themselves from the superficial distractions of mainstream life. They crave truth, depth, and real human connection. This withdrawal isn't about escape. It's a necessary part of aligning with higher frequencies. The new energy can't fully land in a life that's still entangled in outdated systems. This craving for authenticity is the soul's way of returning home. Amid all this, something even more significant is happening: a split in timelines. Not a physical rupture, but an energetic one. Two versions of Earth are taking shape at the same time. One is stuck in the density of fear, division, and control. The other is rising into harmony, expansion, and freedom. It's not just metaphor, it's a real divergence in frequency. The old world continues to cling to scarcity, manipulation, and separation, while the new world is being created through alignment, compassion, and a deep sense of unity. More and more people are starting to feel this divide. Some feel like life is getting heavier, more chaotic, and emotionally draining. Others feel strangely light, like they've stepped into a flow that's guiding them somewhere better. The split isn't sudden, it's gradual, allowing each soul to make their own choice. But the choice becomes more and more pressing with each passing day. Which frequency will you align with? Which Earth will you inhabit? This energetic separation begins to affect relationships as well. Connections that once felt solid begin to feel strained. Long-standing bonds fade or shift. Some people move on without drama, simply because their energy no longer resonates with yours. It's not personal, it's vibrational. As you rise, some will come with you, others will stay behind, continuing their journey on a different path. There's grief in this, but also clarity. What's meant for you now is alignment, not attachment. This entire unfolding, this grand shift, is not something to fear, but something to remember. You've felt it before. It's in your bones, in your dreams, in the quiet stirrings of your heart. The earth is not falling apart, it is transforming. You are not losing your mind, you are waking up, and everything that once tried to convince you otherwise is losing its power. The real question now is, can you hear the call underneath the noise? Can you trust the pull in your chest, the tingling in your spine, the whispers in your dreams? Because this shift isn't coming. It's here, and you're not just a witness to it. You're part of it. You are the activation. You are the awakening. You are the frequency that will carry this new earth into being. The changes we are experiencing aren't happening because of conflict or misunderstanding. Rather, it's something much deeper, a vibrational mismatch that can no longer be overlooked. As more people awaken to higher frequencies, they find it harder to connect with those still anchored in the mindset of the old world. Conversations that once felt meaningful now feel empty. Interactions once fueled by shared habits or memories begin to feel forced. The energetic ties that held certain relationships together begin to loosen and, in many cases, dissolve completely. And yet, as some connections fade, new ones emerge effortlessly. Like-minded souls seem to find each other almost magnetically. There's a feeling of ease, authenticity, and deep mutual understanding in these new relationships. They're built not on obligation or old stories, but on a shared resonance with the transformation that's unfolding all around us. It becomes unmistakably clear that the energy a person carries determines who stays in their life and who gently drifts away, not because of judgment or superiority, but because two vastly different frequencies simply can't occupy the same space anymore. Even the spaces we move through begin to change in how they feel. Some locations begin to feel strangely heavy, dense, almost frozen in a time that refuses to move forward. They feel resistant to the shift that's taking place, clinging to what was rather than flowing with what's becoming. Others seem to glow with a radiant light, almost as if they are alive with a new energy. These places feel like gateways to something more, places that support growth and healing. People are beginning to feel an instinctive pull to relocate, even if they can't explain it logically. This urge is not random. It's the soul seeking out the energy that will nurture its next evolutionary step. The space between these two worlds, the old and the new, is widening rapidly, and with that widening comes a powerful acceleration in how reality responds to our thoughts. Manifestation no longer takes years of intention and effort. It happens faster now, almost instantly for some. Those who are aligned with the higher frequencies of unity, healing, and abundance are noticing their dreams and desires materializing with astonishing speed. It's as though the universe is listening more intently, reflecting back to us not what we say we want, but what we energetically broadcast. Meanwhile, those still rooted in fear, scarcity, and doubt are finding their struggles becoming more intense. It's not punishment, it's simply energy meeting energy. Reality has stopped operating under the old rules of slow, delayed cause and effect. It's becoming an immediate mirror, showing us exactly what we're putting out into the world. This is both a blessing and a test. It reveals clearly who is ready to step into their role as a conscious creator and who still needs to let go of outdated patterns. There's no more middle ground, no more time to sit on the fence. People are being asked, whether they realize it or not, to choose. Will they rise with the new energy of the earth or stay tethered to collapsing systems that can no longer hold? The shift is no longer coming. It's here. It's happening in this very moment. Those who resist it are starting to feel deeply out of sync with their surroundings. They feel uncomfortable, confused, even disoriented, as if the world no longer makes sense to them. And in many ways, it doesn't, because the old world no longer fits. But those who embrace the shift begin to experience life in a very different way. There's a sense of flow, of being carried forward by something greater, as if an invisible current is guiding them. They no longer feel the need to force, to struggle, or to chase. Life begins to unfold in alignment with their highest path. This transformation isn't about being saved or waiting for someone else to rescue us. It's about making a conscious internal decision to shift into a higher state of being. The new earth isn't a physical place we move to, it's a frequency we align with. And as we do, the artificial systems that once held so much control over our lives begin to unravel. The matrix, the system built on illusion, manipulation, and control, is coming undone, not in the future, but now. The collapse is most visible in the financial systems. Sudden bank closures, volatile stock markets, and the push towards centralized digital currencies are not just unfortunate coincidences. They are symptoms of a failing structure, one that is being revealed for what it truly is. A house of cards built on illusion. People are beginning to see that their money is nothing more than numbers on a screen, easily manipulated by those in power. The trust that once kept the economy afloat is disappearing, and with it, the belief that the system is stable or fair. What was once whispered as conspiracy is now unfolding in plain sight. The so-called reset is no longer just a possibility, it's already underway. Some will panic, desperate to cling to the familiar, but others will see this as a chance to finally break free. A new way of living is being born, one that is decentralized, self-sustaining, and rooted in genuine abundance rather than artificial scarcity. As the financial matrix dissolves, so too does the illusion of government control. People are starting to ask the questions they were once too afraid to ask. Why should a small group dictate how the rest of us live? Why are we told what we can and cannot do, not based on truth, but on systems that serve the few at the expense of the many? The old rules are losing their power because people no longer believe in them. And belief is everything. Governments respond by tightening their grip, pushing more fear, more regulation, more control. But their efforts reveal only desperation. The harder they push, the more people awaken. It's not always loud or dramatic. In fact, the most powerful rebellion is silent. People are simply withdrawing their energy. They stop participating. They start creating new systems of their own. Small communities based on mutual respect, shared values, and sovereign choice. Even science is going through a revolution. For decades, truths about consciousness, energy, and the nature of reality were dismissed or hidden. But now, what was once ridiculed is being rediscovered. Quantum physics shows us that reality isn't fixed. It's fluid, shaped by observation, thought, and intention. The power of the mind, the truth of multidimensional existence, the interconnectedness of all things, these ideas are no longer fringe theories. They are becoming the foundation for a new way of understanding ourselves and the universe. The line between science and spirituality is dissolving. We're stepping into an era where knowledge no longer confines us. It empowers us. We're remembering that the universe isn't cold and mechanical. It's alive, responsive, and deeply interconnected with who we are at every level. And as our consciousness expands, even time begins to change. The rigid schedules, the constant deadlines, the obsession with productivity, they all start to feel artificial. Time itself seems to stretch and bend, responding to our inner state. Those aligned with the shift experience life not as a series of ticking seconds, but as a flowing, unfolding presence. They're no longer ruled by the clock. They move in rhythm with the energy of the moment, which brings a deep sense of peace and purpose. This new relationship with time makes it even harder for the old systems to control them. The most profound evidence of the collapse isn't loud rebellion or civil unrest. It's something far more subtle and powerful: mass disobedience without resistance. People simply stop playing the game. They leave jobs that drain them, step away from relationships that no longer serve them, and start building lives based on true freedom and authenticity. The old world expected resistance. What it didn't expect was disinterest, and that's what undoes it. The artificial systems collapse, not because they're overthrown, but because they're ignored. In their place, new ways of living begin to flourish. Real communities built on shared purpose and energetic alignment. And just as the inner world transforms, something extraordinary begins to stir in the skies above us. A moment approaches that cannot be denied. A presence enters our solar system, unlike anything we've ever seen. Scientists rush to define it: a rogue planet, a mysterious comet, a celestial anomaly that defies physics. But this is no ordinary object. It carries an energy so intense, even those who are not spiritually attuned feel something shift deep within them. Some are overcome with awe. Others tremble in fear, sensing that everything they once believed about reality is about to be turned upside down. This isn't a science fiction story. It's the beginning of an encounter that will redefine what it means to be human and to live on this earth. Something sacred is unfolding. Something vast, cosmic, and unstoppable. The stargates are opening, the guides are arriving, and the choice to step into a new way of being has never been more clear. This is the crossing point, the threshold. Not everyone will choose to pass through it. But for those who do, the new earth isn't a dream. It's home, and it's already here, waiting to be embodied. The skies have started to come alive with strange displays, lights dancing in impossible patterns, symbols flashing and vanishing, intricate geometric shapes glowing in and out of view. These aren't random occurrences. They're signals, carefully orchestrated signs from the cosmos, letting humanity know that a great transformation is already underway. As these powerful celestial forces approach, something stirs within the earth itself. Ancient and sacred sites, long considered silent monuments to forgotten times, begin to hum with renewed energy. The Great Pyramid of Giza emits a vibration that hasn't been recorded in any living memory. Stonehenge radiates frequencies that make the air around it shimmer and ripple like water. Deep in the Peruvian jungle, Machu Picchu starts to reveal its hidden chambers and secret passageways, long cloaked by thick vegetation. These places weren't just built as structures. They were aligned with star systems, constructed with a knowledge far greater than history ever acknowledged. They were built to connect with the stars, and now they're activating. They're unlocking codes embedded in their very stones, codes that have been waiting in silence for this precise moment. People who journey to these places can feel it, shifts inside their bodies, sensations they can't explain, like their very DNA is reacting to something ancient and deeply familiar. But it's not just these famous sites that are coming alive. All around the world, in places where no one expected, energetic portals begin to appear. Some open up in remote forests, where the trees twist into strange, fluid shapes as though touched by invisible forces. Others blink in and out of existence in city alleyways or under bridges, seen only by those tuned into their vibration. There are even reports of shimmering gateways emerging in deserts, on mountaintops, and deep beneath the sea where unearthly lights pulse just below the waves. Those who see them often describe the feeling of being gently pulled toward them, like something beyond understanding is calling. At the same time, people everywhere begin to have unusual dreams. But these aren't ordinary night wanderings. They're vivid, immersive, and feel more real than waking life. In these dreams, luminous beings appear, offering messages, visions of future events, or deep inner guidance. Some wake with knowledge they never learned. Others return with strange symbols etched in memory or on their skin, geometrical patterns that pulse with energy. Some feel a kind of electric vibration in their bodies, or a sense of floating, as if the barriers between physical and spiritual dimensions have fallen away. It becomes clear that contact has begun, not with fanfare or spectacle, but subtly, intimately, through consciousness itself. These aren't beings forcing themselves into our world. They're simply responding as we begin to awaken and align with them. And then a moment arrives. It doesn't speak in words, but resonates through the very soul, an invitation to choose. The crossroads appears. On one side lies fear, denial, and the comfort of the old systems even as they crumble. On the other is a path into the unknown, a surrender to something greater, something divine. The beings who've observed us for millennia do not impose. They wait, patiently, for the inner spark of decision to light within each individual. This is not a political or religious choice. It is personal, deeply personal. No government, no authority can choose it for you. It comes from within, from your own willingness to accept the invitation and remember who you really are. As these choices stir in the hearts of people across the world, something even more profound begins to happen. Science starts to stumble upon clues, even if it doesn't yet know what to make of them. For decades, researchers have puzzled over the massive portions of human DNA labeled as junk. Nearly 98% of the code was dismissed, believed to be meaningless leftovers of evolution. But now, that idea is rapidly falling apart. Patterns are being discovered, patterns that correspond with solar flares, gamma rays, and high-frequency waves emanating from the galactic center. These cosmic events are activating parts of human DNA that were dormant, waiting for a signal. What was once thought to be useless is now awakening. Around the globe, people are beginning to experience spontaneous transformations. Some wake up with abilities they've never learned, suddenly speaking lost languages or understanding complex patterns intuitively. Others feel energy coursing through their hands, discovering they can help others heal with touch alone. Telekinesis, once relegated to fiction, starts to emerge in isolated yet undeniable instances. Objects move with focused intention. People begin to see energy fields, auras, and even glimpse parallel realities layered within our own. These aren't hallucinations. They are natural expressions of a new human blueprint activating for the first time in ages. The brain itself starts to transform. Old modes of logic and compartmentalized thinking dissolve. In their place, creativity and intuition soar. People begin making connections with lightning speed, solving complex problems with ease, and uncovering truths that were always hidden in plain sight. The mind becomes a channel, receiving downloads of knowledge not through study, but through resonance. Knowledge from higher realms, from past lives, and from the collective memory of humanity itself. But as monumental as these mental shifts are, the most extraordinary transformation happens in the heart. For too long, the world worshipped reason, forsaking the quiet wisdom of the heart. Now that inner compass returns. People no longer rely solely on calculation to make decisions. They begin to feel their way forward, guided by a sense of inner knowing. Relationships evolve too. Love becomes something far more than a contract or exchange. It becomes a frequency, a recognition between souls that transcends time. Communication moves beyond words, felt through energy, emotion, and even thought itself. The heart reveals its true nature, not just a muscle but a mind, one attuned to the divine. With all these changes, humanity starts to shift into something new. Those who align with these higher frequencies become radiant. Their very presence uplifts others. Their bodies feel lighter, more fluid, almost vibrating out of the physical altogether. Fear, anger, and doubt lose their grip. Some even begin to move between dimensions, living in more than one reality at once. This isn't just a personal evolution. It's the emergence of a new species. A new earth is rising, and the pioneers are those who choose to embody it. But as this great awakening spreads, another truth becomes clear. There's no more time to linger in indecision. The window for choice is closing. The energy on the planet is now so powerful that resistance creates visible pressure. Those who avoid the call feel it as confusion, struggle, and deep unrest. Life becomes harder, not out of punishment, but because the frequency of the old world no longer fits. For years, signs have been offered, through dreams, symbols, and inner nudges. But now, the moment of delay has passed. The earth itself responds with movements that shake both the ground and human consciousness. Tremors, storms, and energetic pulses begin to surge, not as threats, but as reminders. The planet is evolving too, and it's calling humanity to evolve with it. These shifts influence everything, even human thought, and those who are tuned in feel the urgency behind these signs. The time to awaken is now. The veils are lifting. Truths long buried are rising with unstoppable force. Ancient knowledge returns. Secrets once suppressed about healing, energy, and humanity's origins. Extraterrestrial contact once ridiculed becomes undeniable. And not through official channels alone, but through personal experiences, memories, downloads, and face-to-face encounters beyond the physical. The illusion of secrecy dissolves. The only question that remains is whether people will embrace this truth or turn away in fear. This is the true division, what some have called the splitting of timelines. It is no longer a theory, it is happening. Those aligned with love, unity, and expansion are naturally gravitating toward a new earth, a place where creativity flows, where souls remember each other, and where existence is rooted in harmony. Those who choose fear, control, and limitation will stay in a reality that reflects those choices, one becoming increasingly unstable as the collective frequency shifts. Each soul now stands before a threshold. No one can cross it by force or persuasion. The resonance of the heart decides, but the door will not stay open forever. Once the moment passes, the path chosen becomes your reality. The new age will not wait. Those who hear the call and step forward will find themselves in a world beyond anything they've known, where manifestation is immediate, consciousness is boundless, and every day is a miracle waiting to unfold. And for those who choose to ignore it, the old world will grow heavier, more difficult to bear, not as punishment, but as the inevitable result of misalignment. The cosmos has shifted. The invitation has been extended, and now every soul must decide. That moment is here, and nothing will ever be the same again.